Hey y'all, welcome back for another one. In this video I wanted to show y'all some of my favorite drugstore foundations, as I know us chocolate girls be needing help out here, especially when it comes to finding the right foundation shades in the drugstores. We know sometimes they don't have our back, so in this video I will be showing you some of my favorites. Know that all the information I will be providing in this video will be based on my experience and my opinion. So even with what I say, please take it with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, I definitely hope that it's helpful. The first foundation I want to show y'all is one of my definite favorites right now. And I'm even new to using this, but I already love it. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. And this is what it looks like. It comes in this matte kind of bottle with kind of like a rosy gold monochrome finish packaging, so it's really cute and definitely stands out. What I really love about this foundation is that it gives me a skin like matte finish, which that is what I'm really looking for when I wear a full coverage foundation, is for it to give me just that, and this foundation definitely does it. For this foundation, my shade is F14. I was able to find this foundation one day when I was out just walking around in Ulta, and that is actually one of the only places that I think they actually carry this foundation. I know you can also buy it online, which is definitely one of the limits, because I feel like this is such an underrated foundation and it should be definitely available in other places, but that's neither here nor there. This foundation line comes in 50 shades, which if that doesn't tell you enough, that is everything. For it to have such a wide range of shades and undertones and all that great stuff to really just reach a lot of different people, that is a really plus to the company. This is a full coverage foundation, so I definitely recommend this to folks that really enjoy that overall full look for your foundation. And when I tell you that it is a long wear foundation, like really anytime that I've worn this foundation, it has lasted me the entire day, you guys. So you are definitely in good hands with this. The price is nice on this foundation. I've been able to even find it for $12, y'all, at Ulta. Come on, like Ulta normally just has really high prices, but to find this foundation be that amount is amazing. So I really love it, and I definitely recommend it. It is definitely chocolate girl friendly, and I give this a thumbs up for sure, y'all. You gotta try it. The next foundation in the lineup has to be none other than, yes, the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation, and this is one of my favorites, and I definitely have had to jump on the bandwagon and support this line because one of my favorite YouTubers actually helped out with the shade range for this particular product, so I definitely wanted to support this, and I really do love it. I know that this launched back in maybe the beginning of 2019, and it has really been a plus, and I love this foundation. This is probably my second time trying it, and I really love it. So some things that I found out about this product with my experience: it is a full coverage foundation, and as y'all see, the packaging is amazing, and it comes with a pump. You guys, like, this is where we have come to. Like, we are no longer making foundations with just a screw off top, y'all. Honey, we are moving to pumps, and that is one of the great things, one of my favorite things about this product. You can more than likely find this product at really any drugstore: Walmart, Target, Walgreens, CVS, pretty much all of those, Ulta. Yeah, so you can definitely find it in a lot of different places. It does have a matte finish, so that is definitely a plus for folks like myself that have oily skin. So that is also something to keep in mind. A lot of the foundations that I will be showing are kind of geared towards my skin type, so just make sure that you are also paying attention to that, because I don't want to pass that by, because that is really important when it comes to picking out the right foundation. But this foundation also gives me a really long wear. I can pretty much put this on in the morning and it can last you out the day, and that has been one of my favorite things about it. Not to mention, and I have it on today, and you guys, like, this look, it made it. Like, I love this foundation. The shade that I'm most closest to is called MOCHA. Alright, so I'm not shading this foundation, but I definitely know that I can't pump it up so much without bringing up at least one thing, right? But this is nothing to make it less than what it is, because it's still an overall great product. But one thing that I definitely know that I have not necessarily enjoyed is the price for this foundation, especially for it to be a drugstore foundation. I've normally been able to find this between $15 and $16, which for me, that's still a bit much for a drugstore foundation. For your girl, I definitely limit the amount of times that I do go out and buy, because for me, sis, like, I have a limit and an expectation when it comes to what I want to spend on a drugstore foundation. But it is still a great product, y'all. Like, it is amazing, and I definitely still recommend it. And it is chocolate girl friendly. Like, I will put a stamp on it any day. I love this foundation. The next foundation for me has to be, and I feel like y'all know what it is, but it is no surprise that it is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte & Poreless foundation. Now, one thing that I know about this foundation is that it did launch a while ago, and I know Maybelline came back out with at least 2 different types for this foundation, because at first I think it was more so for just normal to any skin type, but they came out and launched a dewy and a matte line to kind of differentiate between the 2 different skin types. The shade that I'm in for this foundation has always been and still is 360 in Mocha, and I think that is funny that I've remained the same shade all these years, but it is a wonderful shade and my skin has loved it and it has loved my skin, so we're sticking with that. But I have found a lot of positives when using this foundation. The price is nice. Like, sis, when I tell you I've always come back to this baby, for one, is that you can pretty much find it anywhere, which I think is a plus, because a lot of these foundations you just have a hard time finding. It does dry matte, as I said, because I do have the Matte & Poreless kind, and this is also a medium coverage foundation, which is very important, because normally for me I tend to cling towards the full coverage foundations, but just because it's medium coverage does not mean that it's a negative. It's more so meaning that it's buildable. One thing that I do know about this foundation is that it is still old school with the screw off top, which for me, I still just pour on the back of my hand, because that's the only way that I've always done it, and has really worked for me. But I could definitely see them at some point launching this product with a pump, because companies are just going that way. That is just how things are evolving. So come on, Maybelline, y'all can do it. I believe in y'all. But this is a overall great product. I do definitely get about 6 to 8 hours of wear out of this foundation, so that is something to keep in mind. But overall, it is a great product, and I definitely recommend. And the shade range that they launched with the new product line is amazing. So that is why I really had to include this, because not only is it highly accessible, highly affordable, but it is definitely keeping in mind all of those different undertones and shade ranges. Like, I definitely really think that they kept us in mind when they came out with this foundation, and all other undertones and different things like that, because even folks that are on the higher end, not their undertones and their shades are all the same. So I definitely appreciate when a company takes that into consideration. This next product has definitely been one of the most raved about full coverage foundations here lately, and when I tell y'all, I felt I was so late to the launch, because I was just like, wait, everybody is on this, like everybody. But yeah, it's none other than the Maybelline SuperStay Full Coverage Foundation, and here it is. Now, this is a full coverage foundation, and the shade that I'm in is 362 Truffle. This foundation also does come with a pump. This particular product runs between $10 and $12, which I've been able to find this at places such as, of course, Ulta, Target, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS. It definitely does fluctuate between that $10 and $12 range, depends on where you go. Unfortunately, y'all, I don't have pretty much any limits or negatives about this product, and don't shoot the messenger. It's just based on my experience that I really have known that this foundation has covered pretty much everything that I look for in a foundation. So that has probably been one of the reasons why I haven't found too much that I don't like about it. But of course, I've only used it for about a year now, so I'm still trying it out and seeing how it works for me. I just love this foundation, and it is definitely chocolate girl approved. That is pretty much my drugstore foundations, but y'all, I'm not leaving you hanging. This next product that I want to talk about, it is not a drugstore product, but it was so necessary to include it in the lineup because it is everything, and it is all Chocolate Girl approved because it is everything a chocolate girl needs in a foundation. And that is, of course, yes, you guessed it, none other than the Fenty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation. And yes, y'all, that is the full name. I know, a mouthful, but sis, this foundation is everything. Yes, I was one of those latecomers to this product as well, because at the time when it launched, I was just not with paying for a high-end product. I wasn't on the bandwagon yet. This product does retail for $35, and usually I have been able to find it at Sephora. Because it is a high-end product, one of the things that I've learned to be able to do with my high-end products is save it for those days that I know I'm going to get all glammed up, because I need this foundation to last and get my money's worth. So that is my trick. But I love this foundation. There's not too many negatives that I have about it. It definitely does hit all those bolts and knots about a full coverage foundation. It does dry matte. It is their soft matte foundation, and I know they have another version for those dewy folks, but this does come with a pump, which is another great thing that I love it. You do get 1.8 fluid ounce of this particular product. I do like the packaging, like it's kind of like a really nice matte glass texture, and it's really bomb. I really do like this. Now, one thing that I have found about this particular product is that it does dry kind of fast. So sis, you gotta work fast when you do apply it, because it will kind of dry down. And I do like, at least for me, for my foundation to kind of have a really nice dewy texture as I'm applying like my concealer and my bronzer and all the other great stuff. I still want to be able to have like a really nice dewy base while I'm applying everything. And then is when, you know, when I get towards the end and it's all done, is when I kind of want it to be a little bit more dry. But that is not necessarily a negative. I know so many people have used this and learned how to work with it, but that is just one of the things that I found for myself. Overall, this is just a really good foundation, and I've also really loved being able to use it along with the Pro Filt'r Matte Primer that goes along with this particular foundation. So both together are amazing, and I really do love this. When I tell y'all, yes y'all, this is for us, it's by a chocolate girl, made for chocolate girls. Like, this is amazing. Another thing that I found out about this particular product, and I actually didn't know, I did some research on it and one of our fellow YouTubers brought this up, but about the color range. One thing they noticed when going and getting this product is that they got a shade that was probably their particular like dead on shade, but when it dried down, it dried a little bit lighter than what they wanted. When they said that, I also was being mindful of that. So one thing they kind of recommended was, when you do buy this product, get a shade that's a little like one shade darker, because when it does dry, it will then dry your actual shade. So that is one thing that I found about this product. So that is something that I share with y'all, because it definitely helped me. So I had to pass it, because I was just like, sis, we can't be out here. That is the lineup of foundations that I've been able to find that I will say are chocolate girl approved. And I thank y'all for tuning in, and I hope that this was very helpful in some way. Yes, please know that you can reach out to me if you have any further questions about any of the products that I talked about today. I definitely hope that I can continue to assist and support you in whatever way possible. I love y'all, and I appreciate all the love and support that y'all have given me. And until next time, loves, Lord willing, I'll see you then.